Today we're going to talk about how to not be hurt. How to not be hurt by other people's opinions and views of you. You see, the reason I want to talk about this a lot is that I get a lot of messages, on Instagram and Facebook and all that, and say, Chris, how do you stay so positive? How do you deal with people that try to hurt you and the haters and all that kind of stuff? And it's a great question. Firstly, you want to stop hanging out with shit people. Like, let's be honest. Let's stop hanging out with the energy drainers and the losers. If you want to live your dream and be better than you were yesterday, it's very important that the people that you hang around are doing the same. If the old saying goes that if you're the smartest man in the room, then you're in the wrong room. And proximity is power. You're the average of the 5 closest people you hang around most. You hang around with a drug dealer, 4 drug dealers, you'll be the 5th drug dealer. You hang out with 5, professional tennis players, you'll be the 5th one. If you hang out with 4 millionaires, you'll be the 5th millionaire, and so on and so on. You want a good body, hang out with 4 people that have good bodies and that are fit, you'll be the 5th one. It's just how it is, right? So, you want to get rid of those shit people, those energy drainers. Anyone that's going to give you the negative energy, you want them out of your life. Right? You want them out of your life. Nobody can hurt you with words that you don't already believe. So what does that mean? People can say lots of things about you, like you're shit, you're fat, I don't like your green car, I don't like your purple car, I don't like your squeaky voice. They can throw everything at you. They can throw it over and over at you, but it doesn't actually hurt. You don't actually take offense to it unless you believe it, right? Because somebody could say, oh, I don't like your creaky voice. I'm like, okay, right? I don't like your yellow car, okay? But if you believe you don't actually like it or you don't like your voice, then you're going to be offended, right? So you can't actually get offended unless you believe it, right? Unless you're in not a great place anyway, you're not actually going to get offended unless you believe it, right? So that's a big one as well. And because, with that, you're going to get triggers. Triggers are very important. Triggers, if you get angry over what somebody said, then you got to ask yourself, shit, why did that trigger me? Right? Like, why did that trigger me? Why did something that guy just said now, why did that trigger me? Maybe, there's something there that I need to work on. You see, triggers are a gift. Because as soon as you get that trigger, shit, I know I need to work on that now. Because you want to get to a place where you're bulletproof. Like, yeah, of course we're human, but you want to get to a place where people can say things and you don't get offended. You don't get offended very easily, right? Because if you do get offended and angry and all that, then you're triggered, right? If somebody calls you fat and you go, no, I'm not fucking fat, that's a trigger. Maybe you are fat. Maybe you get offended that you're not happy in your own skin, right? So it's very important that we work on those triggers. Oh, you're not a great person. Well, it's not going to really offend me because I know who I am and I know it's just bullshit. But if I believe I am a shit person, now they're just uncovering me and that's going to trigger me, right? That movie, Eminem, what is it called? 8 Mile. When Eminem raps and he raps about himself. You have a dumb friend named Jetta that shoots himself in the leg with his own gun. I am white. And, Dre did fuck my girl, but I'm still standing here saying fuck the free world. You see, like, he used everything that guy was going to use against him. Dre did fuck my girl. I am white trash. I am living in a trailer park. All that kind of shit. And now, when his opponent tried to say anything to him, he had nothing to say because he just used all the things that were going to trigger him. Now he just said it, so now he doesn't have a trigger point. He's not going to say the exact same thing, so now there was no triggers on Eminem. Right now he won, he took the power. So you should actually thank people that trigger you in a way, because it's like you want to get to a point where you don't have triggers. And of course we're human, you're never going to be perfect. But if you get triggered and an emotional response comes out, fuck you, or some sort of anger, that means now you can be controlled by the outside world. Anyone or anything can say something and now it just rocks your world. You don't want to get to that place, right? So, there's a famous quote that says, no one can make you feel a certain way unless you give them permission. Really think about that. No one can make you feel angry. No amount of traffic, no one calling you names can make you feel angry or upset unless you give them permission. Ooh. A lot of the people that in that victim mindset are going to be like, no, but it's their fault. But think about that. If it's their fault, you're powerless now. Victims are powerless. Always a victor, never a victim, right? Victims, there's an old saying that says, a man is not a victim of his circumstances. A man creates favorable circumstances for him. And that means taking action that you cannot be hurt unless you give them permission to hurt you. So that's one of the biggest learnings from this podcast, is that how to not be hurt is that not give people permission to hurt you. And if they can hurt you, that means you've got triggers and it's something you need to work on. That you're not bulletproof and you believe some of the things they're saying, that's why it's hurting you. Because if you don't believe it, if you know you're a good person, then someone can say you're a shit person, you go, it doesn't mean nothing, right? Remember, no one can make you feel a certain way unless you give them permission.
Thanks for listening to The Mindset Motivator with Chris Symons. If you want to take your life to the next level, check out chrissimonscoaching.com.